Hi, everybody. It's Tim Constantine. Joining me is one of my favorite people on the planet. It's my good buddy for America, Dave Moselle. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. You know, when I was growing up, and I know that was a long time ago, but when I was growing up, there was a really simple formula. You might disagree politically, but there was a law in place, a guideline, a set of rules that everyone was supposed to adhere to. And if you didn't like the law, what I learned in civics, I don't know if they teach this anymore, but what I learned in civics was if you didn't like the law, you could talk to your congressman and try to get them to change the law. You could run for Congress and become the congressman and try to change the law. But there's a mathematical formula. Okay, I can get 218 votes. I've changed the law. You didn't just ignore the law. And yet today we seem to be having arguments on all kinds of topics as to whether or not we're even going to follow existing law. There were a couple of arrests recently of judges, and everyone is up in arms. Oh, Trump is doing it. I see he's a dictator. He's having the question is, are the judges skirting the law? Because if they are, all those people that hate Trump and for years have said no one is above the law.
Yeah.
I hope they would apply that same rule to some judges. Your thoughts?
Well, listen, I give Democrats some credit. Let me tip my hat. They are finding new and unique and creative ways to add to the illegal citizen count of this country. It's unbelievable. As Donald Trump tries to fulfill his campaign promise to deport millions of illegal immigrants led in by the Biden administration, the Democrats have gone to various judges, and just recently, the latest example of a judge in California, an Obama appointee, forcing President Trump to admit 12,000 refugees and put them on the fast track. These Democrats have figured out a way. I know what to do. We'll just consider everyone a refugee and get inside the refugee line. I'll give you some numbers for you. 135 injunctions to date, or the illegal equivalent thereof, against the Trump administration.
More than one a day.
More than one a day. Get Trump 2.0. Biden had 13 to date during this administration, during this time frame. Trump 1.0 had 43. Those are the good old days. 43 injunctions administration to date. So the Democrats have figured out that they have no power legislatively. They obviously have no power in the executive branch. But there's a reason why they devoted a lot of time, energy, resources, millions of dollars to getting these judges in these district courts across the finish line. Politically, I tip my cap to them. It's extraordinarily dangerous policy, and the Republicans got to get serious about dealing with this for once and for all.
Are you familiar with the Babylon Bee?
Yeah, I love those guys.
Some people may not be. It's like the Saturday Night Live of politics. It's a news organization that spoofs everything. Everybody kind of makes a mockery out of things. And there was a great headline recently in the Babylon Bee that said, Trump to appoint self as federal judge so he can have even more power.
Sure. Well, this is where Congress needs to get some skin in the game. I mean, they have the power of the purse. They can get creative, not just in this reconciliation package, but future funding mechanisms vis-a-vis what funding is allocated to the district judge level. At some point, I mean, this is really going to come to a head if it hasn't already. But this is really going to come ahead in the next couple of months, I suspect early June, where there really could be a constitutional crisis. Who is running this country? Is it the executive branch that we duly elected? Is it Congress that we duly elected? Or is it this rogue 140?
Or is it a judge in San Jose, California?
Yeah, exactly.
The other part of what I said at the introduction is there have been a couple of judges that have been arrested because they are ignoring the law. They are literally hiding people that would fall into the protected the protected class here, where they're hiding folks that would otherwise be deported, which of course is illegal. And there are people up in arms over this. You can't arrest a judge, can you?
Sure you can. If you can elect a Republican nominee for president, you can elect a judge. Period. End of story. I mean, the Democrats went full bore and crossed a Rubicon. And this is what you and me and a number of others said when they enacted their lawfare against candidate Trump, that this could come back to bite them. And the Trump DOJ appears to have these two judges dead to rights, good cases, particularly with the one in Wisconsin where she's shuffling this illegal immigrant and his family out the back door. So, it's that old sort of the kids say, FAFO, F around and find out. Well, the Democrats are finding out.
Is that what that means? There's a second and separate issue, but the underlying issue to me is the same, and that is the Department of Education this week has re-emphasized they are going to start collecting on student loans. You haven't been making payments, for a lot of people haven't anyway, for almost 5 years now, and they're saying, guess what? You are now. And if you don't make payments, we're going to garnish your wages. We're going to do all the things that you do when you make a commitment to repay a loan and you fail to repay a loan. People are screaming over this. Wait a minute. What do you mean I got to repay my student loan? Again, is it the same thing where there's a set of rules, there's something people agreed to, they signed a piece of paper, even if they were 18, goodness, when they're 13 right now, they can decide they want to be transgender. So surely at 18, they have enough responsibility to say, okay,